Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of the Daily Dose. Today is Monday, August 15th. And I wanted to start with just real quick with this article about Disney before we get into what happened today. Dan Loeb, I'm just going to pronounce it as Loeb, buys new stake in Disney, lays out key initiatives to unlock further value. Disney's been a stock that's been really beaten down the past year and a half, really, and they had really good earnings, and things are kind of turning around for them. They passed Netflix in their subscriber count, and I just thought that this was a really good article kind of displaying where Disney can go from here. So it says that this investor, an activist investor, bought a significant stake in the media giant, causing shares to rise 2%. And usually when you see big institutions, not always, but usually when you see big investors, big institutions that tend to have more insider information, take a, quote, significant stake, it's a good indicator. So it looks like he previously had a stake in the company and then sold it and then bought back after their Q3 results. And he said that our plan includes spinning off its popular sports network, ESPN, which currently generates significant free cash flow. They said that they wanted to... Actually, let's just read the quote. ESPN would have greater flexibility to pursue business initiatives that may be more difficult as part of Disney, such as sports betting. Customers of ESPN and sports leagues would be better served by a focused management team driving a leadership position in sports distribution. We believe that most arrangements between the two companies can be replicated contractually in the way eBay spun PayPal, while continuing to utilize the product to process payments. So they really want to dive deeper into ESPN, really take advantage of the business opportunities that are there, especially with online sports gambling. They own pretty much a vast majority of the broadcasts for major sports through ESPN. And if they could integrate some sort of live betting like through the channels or however that would work, I just think there's a lot of opportunity there, and that was really interesting. So another quote was, when does Disney go all out with ESPN Plus? When does it take some of those marquee pieces of content and place them on ESPN Plus? Disney indicated that they are ready to do it when the time is right. So the biggest question is just timing. When are they going to pull that plug? So there's obviously a lot of opportunity there with ESPN Plus, especially if they can gain some more exclusive content, in my opinion. Like right now, you can pretty much stream every single NHL game through ESPN Plus. I know you get a lot of fights. You get a couple baseball games, not really all of them. And obviously there's still NBA League Pass. I feel like if they can get something like NBA League Pass, NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB TV, that would be huge. They have the rights to NHL Center Ice. Or they don't. I don't think they have the rights, but if you have NHL Center Ice, you can get ESPN Plus and have access to the games just like you would with NHL Center Ice. And I think if they did that with the other major sports leagues, it would be huge. So let's take a look at Disney subscribers and Netflix subscribers. Obviously, Disney is growing a lot faster than Netflix. They've already passed Netflix in total subscribers. Netflix has actually started decreasing. Disney is still accelerating. And let's look at this. We believe that it would be prudent for Disney to pay a modest premium to accelerate the integration. We know this is a priority for you and hope there's a deal to be had. So they're talking about Hulu. ESPN obviously owns a significant portion of Hulu. I do believe Comcast still owns 1/3. I think that's what they're talking about up here. So they want to buy out Comcast's stake in Hulu and integrate it with Disney Plus. A lot of people don't know that Disney owns Hulu, so a lot of people will argue that Netflix has an edge over Disney Plus when it comes to streaming because of the adult content and things like that. But actually, they own Hulu, which is a great comparable to Netflix. And if they owned the entirety of Hulu, which is what they're trying to do with Comcast, and they were able to integrate that into Disney Plus and really turn it into a holistic subscription service, I mean, they'd be able to expand even beyond that. As they've already passed Netflix. So other than that, let's take a look at the S&P 500. So I know we took a look at this chart over the weekend, but I wanted to take a look at it today because today we reached the top of this zone. So obviously we already broke through this resistance. We're now kind of playing with this resistance up here, and we're approaching a trend line from the beginning of the bear market. So obviously this is another big resistance point. I had my doubts about it even breaking past this point, and now we're all the way up here at about 4,300. We're just shy of that. So at some point, I feel like there's going to be a pullback. Like, my gut is just telling me, like, this rally cannot go on forever. And it's been going on for quite some time now. I feel like we're at a level here. I mean, we set it down here, but we're at another level where we could see that start to happen. Obviously, if it pulls back, this area will now be support. If it breaks through here, we'll go from there. But I would be really surprised. I've said this before in this rally, and I've been wrong, but I'd be surprised if the S&P 500 keeps going up from here. Maybe that's why it keeps going up, because there's a lot of people that think like me. And usually the market likes to do the opposite of what the majority of the sentiment is. So, Bitcoin's still, I mean, it's the same story every day with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still in the middle of no man's land. We broke through this trend line, we broke through this horizontal resistance, and now we're just in a series of making higher highs and higher lows, just kind of floating around. I still think that it should drift somewhere up to the 28 to 30,000 unless we see something catastrophic in the stock market, to which it would then probably get to about 20,000, test it. If it broke through, we'd get back to the 19,000. If we break through there, I haven't even looked at it, but just for fun, let's take a look what happens if it breaks through there. If it breaks through the 19,000, next level for it would be like 11,000. If it breaks through 11,000, the next level would be like 9,000. If it breaks through 9,000, the next level would be 7. I mean, if it breaks through 20, we're in trouble, in my opinion. But we're not there yet. I don't think that'll happen unless something catastrophic happens on the stock market, which I don't think is completely out of the question. I think it would make sense to get at least a retest of this low. At the very least, I think we should be going back down into the 3,000s, at least 3,700. Maybe we go back to the 3,650. That would make sense to me. If we break through the 3,650 on a really bad sell-off, where do we go from there? I think it would make sense to go to about 3,550 first. And then from there, 32.30, which I think a lot of people were calling out for this number during the sell-off. And we've just had a really significant rally. But all of my intuition, my gut is telling me this is a bull trap and that we're going to continue the sell-off from here. Maybe we get 1 or 2 more green days and we make it up to this trend line first, but I just don't know. It doesn't look good. Obviously, this trend line should be respected, so we should get at least a little pullback. And when you see the market go up this sharply, I mean, you have to have a pullback. I mean, this is just too much in too short of a time span. So that's going to do it for me today. Be sure to stay tuned all throughout the week. Obviously, our weekend episodes are longer episodes, full episodes. These are just little short blips to get you through the day. Thank you for joining me today, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.